what's up, Tom?
Oh, Sean! You finally made it! I was about to get tonight's movie started.
If I had to take a shot in the dark? Like, alright.
That, and of course, for the 85th anniversary of the franchise. Well, when it comes to building up our DC universe, I think it's time that we flip the reboot switch right now.
You must be Jason Todd. I'm on Andrea.
Yeah, I am. What the hell did you call me here for anyway? You better not be wasting my time.
Bruce Wayne really needs to be on the lookout.
For what exactly?
Joker and Harley Quinn are both unfortunately out of Arkham again.
What? Hearing that name stresses me out beyond all belief, because you have no idea the amount of pain he put me through to where I fucking died.
I'm so sorry to turn to you. You're not the only one that has history with them. I have history with them too.
In what way?
He killed my father.
What are you reading about that? Are you the Phantasm?
Yes.
Huh. You know, to use that to my advantage, I guess we both are the same thing. Could be my game when you think about it. What does I need to tell Bruce Wayne anyway?
Look for someone with the name Retro Nerd.
That's what Bruce needs to be on the lookout for?
Yes.
Alright. But first things first, I gotta get Bullet ready for that clown.
Be careful, Jason.
No promises, princess.
Bruce Wayne's gonna have a hell of a night.
Greetings everyone, I am Thomas the Retro Nerd, reviewing the games good or bad. Since we're in the holidays once again, whether it's Christmas or after Christmas, I think it's time to end this year with a bang. Batman, one of the greatest heroes of DC Comics next to Superman. So after 85 years of this franchise, whether it's from its highs or lows or its downright silliness, there's a lot to love when it comes to the character. It all started in 1939 when Batman made his debut in Detective Comics number 27. Co-creator Bob Kane got a lot of inspiration for the character thanks to the 1926 Roland West film, The Bat.
The Bat? Oh man, give me a break, will you?
The story is about a boy named Bruce Wayne who witnessed a criminal violently murdering his parents right in front of him. Look at that face, PTSD for life! Years later, as an adult, he discussed with his caretaker, Alfred Pennyworth, about bringing justice back to Gotham City by striking fear against the enemies. By day, we have Bruce Wayne, the billionaire playboy. When the signal is shining, he suits up as the Vengeance, the Knight, the Batman.
I'm Batman. I'm Batman.
I'm Batman.
As the Cape Crusader, Batman goes up against a bunch of crazy villains like the Joker, Riddler, Penguin, Catwoman, Two-Face, Egghead, Mr. Freeze, Poison Ivy, Harley Quinn, Bane, Scarecrow, Clayface, and even the Condiment King. Batman quickly became a hit and branched into a massive franchise. After his success in the comics, Batman also succeeded in movie serials, TV shows, cartoons, actual movies, toys, and of course, video games. Say what you want about the 1966 series starring the late Adam West, but that show defined the character during the time. However, I do have a strong nostalgia when it comes to the animated series, and I do enjoy most of the movies Warner Brothers presented. So anyway, one of the biggest examples of video games was Batman the Caped Crusader for home computers, not to be confused with the new series Batman Caped Crusader on Amazon Prime. It was released in 1988, making one of the non-movie based games on this list. I tried to play the MS-DOS version, but I'm stumped since there was no joystick controllers and the keyboard doesn't help. Consider this the shortest review ever. Now on to the main event. Throughout the 80s, Batman has gotten a huge makeover with more dark and serious stories like Batman Year One and The Dark Knight Returns, both by Frank Miller. In 1989, Warner Brothers brought us a Batman movie directed by Tim Burton. Wow, this is the second time I talk about him. This is one of my favorite films based on The Dark Knight because of the interesting story, the awesome characters, the kick-ass action, and an amazing score from Danny Elfman. However, the biggest controversy about this movie was the casting of Michael Keaton as Batman. All because of Mr. Mom, the moviegoers don't see Keaton in the role. But reflecting on my last review, if you saw Beetlejuice, you can see how versatile Michael Keaton can be. So I can understand how perfect he was in the role. The best example is when Bruce is trying to tell his girlfriend Vicky Vale, played by Kim Basinger, that he is Batman but he can't get the words out of his mouth. It shows the true power from the performance. So yeah, Michael Keaton is a great Bruce Wayne and Batman. However, Jack Nicholson as the Joker was the highlight of the film. True anarchy and chaos whenever he's on screen. It balances the hero and villain aspect of the story. The movie succeeded in grossing over $411 million at the box office, making it a huge hit, and merchandising was everywhere. Toys, a comic adaptation, a breakfast cereal, and a video game.
The NES game was regarded as the best licensed game of the era, and I totally agree.
Sunsoft got the rights for Batman and adapted the movie to the NES. Does it still hold up today? Let's see. This is my re-review of Batman on the NES. By booting up the game, we get to the title screen. Shows off the logo and a full view of Batman. I dig it. When it comes to Sunsoft, they managed to create amazing cutscenes from their games, and this game is the exception. It also reflects on the graphics. It's as dark and stylized as it's presented like in the movie. Sure, Batman is purple instead of black in this game, but that wouldn't blend well with the background. Oh well. The game is a 2D platformer that works, and the controls are very simple. You use a D-pad for moving, A to jump, and B to punch, as well as using some bat weapons. You press start to switch weapons like a batarang, the bat gun, and the bat shurikens. I think that's what they're supposed to be. With the selection of weapons you have, it builds up strategy. Yeah, in this game, select pauses it. But for this game, I'm not complaining. This game also has a wall jumping mechanic, which makes it more unique and a technique you need to master. As the game progresses, it gets trickier, especially at the final level. Trust me, there is no way of avoiding these gears without taking any damage. Ugh. The biggest upside is that this game has unlimited continues, so you don't have the urge to give up. I love how the levels match some of the events from the movie, like from the streets of Gotham City, Axis Chemicals, and even the bell tower at the end. However, I don't remember Batman going through the sewers in the movie, or even a mysterious laboratory. Doesn't knock it down a peg. As for the bosses, it would be boring to just fight the Joker in the game, so they threw in other lesser-known villains at the time, like the goofy Killer Moth in the first level. He's easy to take down. Next is this weird computer thing that has to be destroyed in a specific tactic. The Electrocutioner, on the other hand, is a pain to fight. No strategy. I just wailed him with batarangs until he goes down before he takes me out. Then there was this dual container alarm that is hard to dodge, but I figured out the right spot to stand and took it out. After you manage to defeat Firebug, another lame villain, then we finally get to the Joker. And he's a pain in the butt to fight. Even 10 years later, I still can't beat him. I get it, he's the final fight, but his gunfire hurts like a bitch! I tried multiple times and I kind of gave up. As at this point, just getting to the Joker was a big reward for me.
Batman the video game is a prime example of a licensed game done right. In my opinion, The Dark Knight has been treated a lot better compared to Superman.
Surprise, you four-eyed freak.
The Joker?
What the fuck? On Christmas too?
Mr. J really loves to be festive this year.
Alright, where are my manners? Merry Jokermas to you and your buddy there. My apologies, nerd.
And a bah humbug to you.
Party pooper, no cake for you, nerd.
Shove it, clown. I'd rather deal with the Riddler than you.
Jeez.
Now that was rude. At least your buddy has manners.
What's their problem? They're the ones who intrude.
That's it.
And what the fuck do you two want?
What's Christmas without a little madness?
We've heard that you've been playing video games about Batsy.
It doesn't matter if it was a video game or reality, you just can't beat me.
Look, I'm sorry for freaking out. Joker, as crazy as it sounds, I do have respect for you, despite for you being a diabolical being.
You do? That's the funniest thing I've heard in a while.
Well, I can give you props for 2 reasons. Number 1, you don't mess with the IRS. And number 2, you're against Nazis. So, I respect you for that.
I appreciate that, nerd. Truly I do. However, that's not going to change my outlook on your progress. No matter which game you play, I'll always defeat you. One way or another, I'm a man of my word.
Okay, I think I'm just gonna go head out for a bit. I'll be back.
Okay, this is my way of saying I'm sorry for what I did to you back on Halloween.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, moving on.
If that's not enough, Batman the video game was later released for the Game Boy. I don't see many people talk about this one. Let's take a look. I like how the game opens with the Batman logo spinning around showing the system's graphic capabilities. Now with the game. It too is a side scroller, but Batman is only allowed to use his bat gun to get through enemies. No regular combat here. That sucks. For the most part, you just have to make it from point A to point B without getting hit too many times. I didn't spend too much time with this one, but I find it fun to play. The boss fight against Jack Napier before he transforms into the Joker took me a while to learn the pattern. Still, it feels like an all-out gunfight. Like the NES game, you do have unlimited continues, which helps out in the long term. The Game Boy game is good. I also recommend it if you want something different.
Okay, there's just one more game on this list that is based on the first Tim Burton movie, and that is Batman the video game on the Sega Genesis. You know, I barely hear people talk about this one. I wonder why.
Again, released after the Game Boy version. Is this game better? In my opinion, no. Nevertheless, let's see why. Very fancy, son stuff. You have the Batman logo rotating like on the Game Boy. But why is this dragging? Much like the NES version, you get the backstory of the plot if you leave the game running. So far, the graphics look pretty good for the Genesis, and the visuals represent the movie well. Once again, it's another side-scroller. Going through the streets of Gotham looks promising, and the first boss fight took me a while. Then we get to Axis Chemicals, and this is where I went batshit insane. You're supposed to jump on this pipe and make it to the tower of crates.
And the only problem is that if you miss the jump, you're fucked!
You can't jump over the crates, and you can't go backwards to try again. Plus, they swarm an endless supply of enemies until you get a game over. Only to fail again and again and again and again and again and again.
That does it. I can't play this game anymore if I can't progress any further than this.
You see that, nerd? No matter what game you play, you can't beat me.
Oh my lord me. Well, I need a drink. Yeah, do need some iced tea. Well, that hit the spot. So, at this point you might be asking, oh, why are you doing Batman for some reason? That had nothing to do with Christmas. Oh yeah? Tell that to Batman Returns.
After the success of the first movie, Warner Brothers was all too pleased to release a sequel. This time, Batman has to deal with 2 villains, Oswald Cobblepot, aka the Penguin, played by Danny DeVito, and Selena Kyle, aka the Catwoman, played by Michelle Pfeiffer. It's another solid film from Burton and Company, but some parts of the film can turn people off. Even though Nicholson's Joker is a tough act to follow, I do have to give DeVito and Pfeiffer a lot of credit here. I also consider Batman Returns as a Christmas movie at the same level as Die Hard.
I shot that debate dead.
There are other problems this movie faced, but I'm saving that for later, and I should get to the video game adaptations right now. Konami got the rights for the movie sequel and adapted it to all the consoles at the time. Let's start off with the NES version, released in January 1993, a late release for the game. Despite that, the Konami team did something different with this one. This game is more of a side-scrolling beat-em-up, which is what they were best known for at the time.
So when it comes to beat-em-up games, I have my opinion on them. I like the genre. It has its highs and lows. I mean, it's a lot more fun when you have a friend along when it's multiplayer. But with solo adventures like Batman Returns, I can't beat them because I'm not good at them.
It kind of depends on the game I'm playing. Nevertheless, it's satisfying to beat up the crap out of these clowns. That made me ask, why clowns? Are they supposed to be followers of the Joker after his death in the previous film? I don't know. Nevertheless, it does work as a stress reliever. The graphics look amazing for the time, the in-game cutscenes capture the style of the movie, and the music kicks all leagues of ass. One last note, like the previous games, you have unlimited continues to give you the urge to not give up. It also has a password system that is neat if you want to take a sneak peek at the rest of the game.
In conclusion, Batman Returns on the NES is a pretty solid adventure. That is if you're a huge fan of the film itself.
There are plenty of versions of Batman Returns. Now let's take a look at the Super Nintendo version. This version shows off the capabilities of the console to a T. Awesome opening, impressive cutscenes, amazing graphics for a Batman game, stylized music. Seriously, they implemented the Batman theme from the movie. Even the gameplay is solid, just bashing enemies until reaching the boss at the end. There are some sections in this game where you're using a grappling hook to navigate around. Your only attack is an endless supply of batarangs. I'm fine with that. You can even find some hearts to regain your health if you take too much damage. I love how that every 50,000 points you gain an extra life. By the way, I recommend you start with 7 lives because you need them. Unlike the other games, this one has limited continues. Use them all up and it's game over. The bosses are unique. This thug that held Selina is not hard to fight. But when Selina becomes Catwoman, this is where it becomes a big catastrophe. Pun intended. In the second fight, she pinned me in the corner and drained my lives away. What the fucking hell?
This is the biggest part I call bullshit.
I've gotten as far as the Penguin this time, and his pattern is hard to distinguish. Nevertheless, I'm glad I made it further than 10 years ago. I'm proud of myself. This is also a good game. I recommend it. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we come to the final game of the review. Batman Returns for the Sega Genesis.
I'm actually happy I managed to find a copy of this game for 25 bucks on eBay that not only comes with the case, the game, but also the instruction manual. Winning!
Sure, it may be a win when it comes to game collecting. However, the game itself is not a win. It would have been a fine side-scroller too, but it doesn't excuse the poor level design of this game. Too many bottomless pits, enemies having weird hit detections, shoddy post-hit invincibility, and did I mention that the level design sucks? I really hate that grappling hook. The mechanics of that thing sucks. Oh, and if you lose all your lives and you made a ton of progress, you go back. All the way back. So yeah, continue my ass.
And I've had enough.
I also want to mention the Sega CD version because of the CD quality cutscenes and those boring driving scenes. However, the main levels are the same as the Genesis version, so it's not worth mentioning. Blessed by Heart Malibu Entertainment, who developed this game. You tried your best, but you're no Konami.
As of this point, I just scratched the surface when it comes to Batman games. I mean, there are a shit ton of Batman games out there, whether it's based on the movies or just original story that they came up with for video games. I mean, I'm all for it. Heck, I have plenty of ideas what I want to do when it comes to reviewing these games, so I'm glad I'm giving my favorite hero the treatment that he deserves. Well, that about wraps it up for this review and for 2024. Hope you guys had a great time, and hopefully you stick around for next year because I got plenty of other ideas I wanted to dish out for you. As of right now, for Crazy Games Productions, we wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy Holidays. See you guys in 2025.
So, you good now, dude?
Yep, we can get the party started, but first, I need to make a call. Yeah, Batman. Bruce, you can drop the act. I know it's you.
Ah, Wayne, huh?
Thomas? How'd you get the number from my bat phone? It's a long story. Anyway, I hope you are aware of the Joker's escape. He escaped again? Along with Harley. Wait, how are you telling me this? I don't even see the bat signal light up. Ah, he must have taken the commissioner as hostage. Well, I guess that explains it. Well, thank you for telling me everything, Thomas. I'm on my way. No worries, Bruce. Your identity as Batman stays at my home. Thanks.
How delicious. Everything's starting to fall into place.
Shall I take care of the Commissioner Gordon while the night is still young, Mr. J?
Indeed, Harley. Have some fun while I...
It's Batman, Mr. J!
Run for it, Harley. I'll hold him off.
Fixed it. Well, there's only one thing left for me to do. I've had enough.